So, first morning here, Timber King Outfitters, Rob Brown. So, what's the plan this morning, Rob?
We are going to go up around the north end of the ranch and take a look and see if we can find you a good bighorn. Try and make it simple.
Is sheep hunting ever simple?
It can be here.
Well, we definitely don't have the problem of not finding any sheep. It's just which one's the big one?
Yeah, that's right.
We definitely on just two really good rams up there, though, isn't there?
Yeah. This one that we're looking at now, we thought we found the ram you were going to shoot earlier this morning, the first one we seen, but this one's looking, the more I look at him, the more he's growing. Like if you look at him there now, TJ, I mean, it's a bit of a no-brainer. It's just got a big old loop on him.
Yeah, he sure does. You know, that first morning when you get out on the hunt, it's always really exciting, especially when you're somewhere new. One of the cool things here is they don't pre-scout. So a lot of times you're seeing the ram for the first time, that they're seeing that same ram for the first time. So it's a really unique experience for the hunter being part of that hunt, right? From spotting that ram for the first time anyone's ever seen him. So Rob and John have a little bit of a competition as to who can spot the rams first. It probably took a minute and John was on some rams already. And so we had rams on one part of the mountain and there was a really good looking ram in it. And we were kind of thinking, man, he's not in the greatest spot. So we kept glassing and we spotted more rams and we spotted more rams. And then after an hour of glassing, I spotted a sheep in the cliffs way over on the right. So everybody got the scope on there and they're like, holy, that's a giant ram. And I'm kind of looking at it going, geez, that ram didn't look that big to me. And I was looking at the wrong ram. I'd spotted one up in the cliffs, but they'd spotted another ram just down below in the cactus. And once I got on it, it was like, yeah, that really is a big ram. So we kind of devised a plan, and I think we all got a little too cocky because there was, it looked like we just had to climb up about 1 kilometer, and there was a big ridge there, and there was a drainage on the other side. And we all figured we'd just get up top that ridge, look down, and that ram would be right there. Still some rams up here that, look good as well, and we've got lots of rams, and we've only looked at just, part of one mountain, so, but bird in the hand's always good. Pretty exciting though, like first day, first morning, like we only been out 2 hours and, probably got 2 shooters spotted and about to make a play on one, but what Rob was saying is by the time we get up there, he'll probably have bedded down, so it'll just be a matter of finding him. We kind of lost him. He was going up a drainage and got in behind a ridge on us, the ridge we're gonna climb up, so. Let's go up, go slow, glass, and shed a few layers before we go. Just gonna kind of go slow from here. Could just be over the top, so. Just about got all our elevation now. It's just a matter of finding them. There's kind of one more ridge here that they probably over, so. But there's other rams here, so we gotta be careful. For us, the kill does not define the hunt.
For us, the hunt is about the journey. Join us
on our journey. Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Sacco Antica Firearms, demand perfection. Zeiss, we make it visible. Loa Boots, simply more. Silver Willow Taxidermy, see the difference.
Closed captioning provided by Deluxe Wall Tents, made in Canada for Canadian conditions.
So we got up on top of that ridge pretty quickly. The going was pretty easy, and it really wasn't that far. And we all kind of crawled over, peeked over the ridge, just expecting that ram to be 300 yards away. Well, as we came over the top, it was just a jungle of cactus and mesquite, and it was thick. And it was kind of at that moment I realized that this was unlike any sheep hunt I'd ever been on. So we glassed for a long time, and then the younger ram that I'd seen up in the cliffs, we caught him, and he was way up the drainage, probably a kilometer or more up the drainage. So we figured that that other ram had maybe moved up there with him, but we couldn't see him anywhere. So we made a plan where we were gonna head up the drainage and see what we could find. So we climbed up the drainage. We went up probably about 700 or 800 yards, and then just up on the left-hand side on the mountain, we caught that ram, and he was just near the top, but he was just moving up through the cover, and there he went, just up and over a pass, and and that fast he was gone. So it was kind of then that I realized that this was going to be a lot more challenging than I ever imagined. So a little bit dejected, a little bit beat up. We decided to head down back to the truck and grab some lunch.
So we came down that drainage up there, got back down to the road here. It takes about an hour to get down, I guess, and decided that walking in creek beds in Mexico is no better than walking in creek beds in Canada. So lots of round rocks, lots of drops, but we got down here, and the plan was to maybe just have some lunch and take it easy until later this afternoon when the rams got back up. But we got down here, and Carlos had the spotting scope on a ram, and it's a big ram. It's a really big ram, so we're just kind of making a plan now. There's definitely a few rams up there, and they're way up there, a lot higher than we went on the last climb, but it's about 12:30, so you think they got to be bedded down here some point soon.
I think that's what he did, actually.
Bedded down now.
Yeah, he went into a little shady spot. He might just be feeding on the backside of a bush. But
It is getting hot out here. It's got to be close to 30 now. Getting a little bit of breeze off the ocean, which definitely helps, and kind of a little bit of overcast. So, but big ram. Well, stock number 2 of the day. We spotted that big ram earlier, and he's actually stayed up a long time. It's about 25 to 2 right now, and he just bedded down, so hopefully he stays down for a little while. They'll probably be back up to feed in a few hours, but looks like we got about an hour hike up there, and then just kind of hunker down and wait is about all we can do. It should put us about 450 yards from where he is right now. I think he was at almost 1,400, and at knob we're going to try to get to is pretty close to 1,000, so we'll see what happens.
Where are we going?
Way up that mountain. Muy caliente. Oh, it's hot. I know. Well, in the 30s today, and we're just everybody's feeling it, but we'll get up there. Just taking our time. There's no hurry. The ram will be bedded for a few hours, but at least the going's not too bad here. It's just we just came up a pretty steep section, a little flatter here now. So
I can actually have the camera out of the bag for this.
yeah, exactly. There's no place for fat white guys, I'll tell you that.
wind's definitely blowing a little more up here too, which will play a factor if we're going to shoot long range, but we'll see where we can get, see what kind of rest we got, and see how the shot feels, and make the decision then whether we're going to take it or not. That's all you can do in the long range game though. It's not that the sheep are so spooky or that you're shooting long range, it's just this terrain is. There's just only so many spots you can see from spot to spot. As you can see how tall this cover is, and there's just no way to.
We're gonna stay in a straight line, all single file, really close to each other.
Okay.
We've just got a little bit to go. We're gonna jump across this little open ridge. We can get down below the point, and he won't be able to see us.
Perfect.
And all you gotta do is get to that point, and we should be in shooting distance.
Perfect. It's a plan. Whether it's a good plan or not, I don't know, but it's a plan.
Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Defense Aerosols. Bear spray for when your life depends on it. Safari Club International Canada, first for hunters. Alberta Outdoorsman Magazine. Midland Radio's communication for every adventure.
There was a point in mind that we wanted to get to, and it was about 900 yards. And we figured from there we'd have about a 400-yard shot, maybe 450-yard shot. And we kind of started getting up, and things flattened out on us a bit. And now we were in just absolute plain sight of this ram. And he was looking at us, which wasn't as concerning, but there was a ewe and a lamb up there with him. And she was locked right onto us. And he was watching her, he was watching us, he was watching her. So Rob said to me, he says, "What do you think?" And I says, "I don't know." So I hit him with the laser rangefinders, and he was 618 yards. And the great thing about these binoculars is they've actually got a ballistic compensator in them. So at 618 yards, the actual ballistic distance was 568 yards. So it was a pretty steep slope, but that was critical. When you start shooting that far, you need to know the exact distance you're shooting for. So we kind of looked, and there was one big flat rock there. And so Rob said, "See if you can get on that." So I was trying to get in behind it and to get comfortable. And I just couldn't get comfortable. There was two big rocks below me. I couldn't get my legs. It was just too steep of a shot. So Rob said, "Why don't you come over to the side of the rock and just kind of settle into it, get on your side, see if that helps." And we had lots of time. The ram was bedded. He was watching us. He knew we were there, but he was pretty comfortable with the fact we were there. And that was the other thing. If we tried to push it any further, we had to drop down into a drainage and then come back up. And I think once he lost sight of us, he would have got pretty nervous. So I kind of settled in a bit there, and things felt pretty good. And just put those crosshairs on them, and they were just lock solid. The only thing is where we were, there was zero wind, not a breath of wind. But as we kind of looked up the hill, you could see the wind was blowing pretty good. So it was kind of one of those times, and one of the things about being a long range shooter is you need to really be able to judge that wind, and it was almost impossible. So we kind of discussed the scenarios with the wind, and Rob was like, "You know what, if you don't want to take the shot," he says, "don't take it." But he says, "I don't think we can get closer, but we can go down the mountain." He says, "We can try again tomorrow." So this was about 45 more minutes or an hour later. Everything felt so good. We kind of figured out the wind at that point. So I said to Rob, I says, "Yeah," I says, "I think let's just wait here. And when that ram stands up, if he gives me a good broadside shot and he's just standing there," I says, "I think I'm going to take it."
He's up. Yeah, he's up, TJ. Just getting the gun. Take your time. Yeah, good hit. Just stay on him. Just stay on him.
I lost him.
He's down in that same chute, 2/3 of the way down. You're gonna have to dial for 530. Dead.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How
was that?
Thank you, man.
Congrats. Congrats.
That's unbelievable, man. I never thought I'd be standing.
You'd even be here.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I never did.
That's what everyone says.
John.
Congratulations.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. How many rams for you? How many is this?
¿Cuántos? ¿Cuántos?
Too many. Cerveza time. Well, we got a pack of lunch and head over there, I guess. It was 618 yards was the first shot I was holding for right on 670 or 575. So hit him, but looked like good the first time. I mean, I think he was going to go down, but made sure we got another one into him. Just, you don't need to be chasing sheep in the mountains.
You did well.
Oh, thank you.
This segment is brought to you by Stony Creek Hunting Gear. It's in the blood.
That took pretty much an hour to get here from where we shot. It's been some nasty going, but it's been pretty much worth every step.
It was pretty heavy there, TJ.
I think maybe a little bit. What a gorgeous ram. Holy. Wow.
Ooh, he didn't shrink.
Look at that though. What a tank. Well, bring the cameraman up here. We'll get him set up a little bit and tell you everything you need to know about doing this hunt yourself. Well, Rob, I got to say this has always been a dream of mine that I never thought would come true, and just some good fortune. The good buddy of ours, Jeff Eno, came in and hunted with you last year,
Yes, sir.
and just raved about this hunt. And I've always been a little leery of coming to Mexico, and I think probably a person should be.
Yeah, it's definitely a concern for most hunters. As you can see, like there's a lot of things that can go wrong. It's just like anywhere you hunt in the world.
Yeah.
Things can go wrong. Do your due diligence and do your research, phone references. And,
Just finding true free range big sheep like this is not easy, is it?
It's getting more difficult to find free range sheep if that's what you're truly after. You just
It
definitely
is.
have to look around. You need to make sure that that's what you're getting.
I mean, this completes my Grand Slam, but this trip was not about getting a Grand Slam. It was about hunting desert sheep in the desert and doing a free range, and just for big old rams. And I saw Jeff's ram a couple of years ago, and I never thought I'd ever get a ram like that. And I don't know, we may have beat him by an inch or two, do you think?
Might have, I think so. He's got some concerns.
So what's the season down here for these desert?
So our season starts in December. We can go as early as November, but we like to typically run from December through until the end of March.
Yeah.
So far we haven't had anyone go home unsuccessful, but we like to take our hunters in either December or January, leaving room for guys to return if they don't get a shot opportunity at a round.
Okay.
Because we guarantee a shot opportunity at a mature round
Oh, wow.
for all of our hunters.
Okay. And then you also offer mule deer and coos deer.
Mule deer and coos deer throughout the months of December and January, and up until the middle of February we can combo hunt them. And we've got some good mule deer and exceptional coos deer on the ranch. So.
Yeah. So you've been managing this ranch now for, what, 8 years?
Yeah, 7 or 8 years now. It's been a work in progress, that's for sure.
And this is what you're managing for. You're not managing for numbers. You don't want to bring 20 hunters a year through here.
No, we just want to take a few really good rams, keep the age up, keep the dreams alive. Right?
Yeah, well, it is. And I mean, this is day one here, and we saw, probably 3 shooter rams this morning.
Yeah.
And spotted this guy this afternoon. We didn't even see him this morning. And thankfully, we made a play on a ram this morning, and it just didn't work out. And not that I'd been disappointed with him at all, but this is... Usually I'm not this quiet when I'm talking with an animal, so it's this is amazing. No, this has been a truly spectacular hunt, and if you ever want to experience Mexico, experience what true desert sheep hunting is all about, and take home just a beautiful, beautiful mature ram. Well, Rob, I don't know, it was about almost a mile down from there.
Yeah.
It's 8:30. We left at 1:30.
Yeah.
So
It took a little bit of a trip, a hike in.
Yeah, so a 7-hour jaunt up there. So you're saying it's only the second time you've ever come down in the dark?
Yeah, only the second time I've come down in the dark, and this is typically a little higher than we normally take them. I mean, we can definitely help and assist people that want to take rams that are older, and we normally can get it done. This year is really special.
I didn't mention that I was older.
No, you didn't. That's all right.
Oh,
I figured it out.
Dang. No, I mean, that was a good. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way, but we basically did 2 big climbs today. It was hot.
That's great.
And we left camp at 6 o'clock this morning, and we probably won't get back there until 9 or so. And
that's right.
That's sheep hunting.
That's sheep hunting. No, that's what makes it fun. The stories are easier to tell when it's harder.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I'm about done though. I made it down with the ram on my back. I was pretty happy with that, and I think if the truck would have been about 10 more yards, I wouldn't have.
We would have figured it out.
Go have a couple beers, some dinner, and
it sounds like a plan.
How about we sleep in tomorrow?
Okay.
Yeah. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Perfect.
Well, Rob, you said you don't usually put a tape on rams, and I come out of cabin last night, and you kind of look sheepish. You had a tape on it. I'm like, don't worry, you can't disappoint me. And your first words were, "You're not going to be disappointed."
Yeah, definitely. It was a grower for sure.
What did we come up with?
183.5, 4/8.
Like unbelievable. So this is the first ram you've taken off the ranch over 180.
Yeah, it's a first for us. It's a big move for us for sure. And we've taken lots of rams in that lower to upper 70s, and for people that are looking for score. And it's been good. We've really tried to manage that and try and get it to where we're here today, and we're glad to see that it's worked.
Yeah, you just look back behind us here at these mountains and everything. This is amazing. But we're gonna go out and explore those a little bit, see a little bit of the country, and give you a little more look. Right now, I'm just going to stare at my ram for a while.
For more information on true free-range hunting for desert bighorns in Mexico, talk to Rob Brown at Timber King Outfitting. You can check them out online at timberkingoutfitting.com. Outdoor Quest TV is also brought to you by these fine sponsors.